All right, we are back. So yeah, where I left off, I was at Prospect Terrace down there, and now heading up this street here. This is Bowen Street, and the plan is to take a little walk down Thayer, see what that's all about. I wish I knew a little more about Thayer, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk down there. We're gonna see what it looks like and point some things out. Some of my favorite places to eat down there. But first, I thought I'd take a little detour. This is Bowen and Prospect Streets, and right back there, that's the Prospect Park. So if you left off in that video, or if you're doing this tour yourself, yeah, you can just walk down Bowen Street, and if you walk straight, you end up at the top of Thayer, and then you would take a right and walk back down towards Fox Point. But today I decided to take a little bit of a detour here, and we may segment it for time just a little bit. All right, a little further down, we're approaching Meeting Street on Prospect Street here, heading south. This is the Church of the Christ Science Christian Church. A little bit of interesting philosophies they have, but don't know much about it. Beautiful building though, I have to say. Quite impressive. Yeah, down in Boston, that's the very first Christian Science Church and their headquarters. Beautiful plaza. It's a really great place to visit. They're welcoming. And you'll see Christian Science reading rooms in different towns. They're just trying to spread their philosophy, and they don't push it down your throat. They don't knock on doors, as far as I know, or anything like that. We're looking for a specific building now. All right, I'm back. That's it right there. 65 Prospect Street. This is the home of the famous Providence novelist HP Lovecraft, who's famous for his novels. I know one, Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, pretty interesting. Now, reading the plaque here, it says it was moved here in 1959. I wonder if he lived here later or not. I'll tell you what, I'll figure that out, and I'll post that information on screen for you, just so you know. But yeah, pretty cool place to check out. You see this cool Christian Science Church as well. And now we're going to continue walking down the street here, and then we're going to turn around and continue our Thayer Street walk. And just for perspective here, if you walk forward, you'll end up straight at Thayer Street in about 2 blocks. And I'm just going to take a cut here. I'm going to take a left and then a right and start at the top of the street. See you then. This is forgive me, Bowen Street. It's just a residential street, but I mean, there's a lot of examples of Victorian architecture. Really neat. But I'm having a battery. Hopefully we'll make the entire walk there. It shouldn't be too long. But yeah, I got 20 minutes of footage left and 30% battery. Let's go for it. Like Thelma and Louise. We'll do it together. But anyway, this is Thayer Street here. Now, the area we're in now, you can kind of see it about 2 blocks ahead. First you got Brook Street, which parallels there, and then you got Hope Street. And if you were to take a right, we'll be heading south, which we'll be going today. And then if you were to take a left, these streets line up together into Hope Street, and then it'll take you to the Mount Hope neighborhood. And then further down, you'll have the Hope Street Business District, and then on to Pawtucket. But this is Thayer here. We're gonna take a little walk. Excuse me. Just gonna point out a few places. I don't really know much about the history of Thayer Street. Other than that, it's an old main street, and it just sort of got perked up by the student industry here. Which I said so before, like part of that, it like leads to, you know, other young people moving here, attracted to these sort of businesses. I think it's a good thing for the most part. I like it here. At the post office. Insomnia cookies. They deliver cookies, which I think is bizarre, but it's the time we're living in. That's pleasant. Speaking of pleasant surprise right here. It's a gift shop. I'll try my best to point out, especially the businesses I go to. But this is Blue State Coffee. I have to say, never been. I might try it sometime. Sneaker Junkies. Greetings from Rhode Island. Be careful when you're crossing the street here. Hey, we got Mike's calzones over here. So we got shawarma there too. That's an interesting fusion. Bagel Gourmet. I love Bagel Gourmet. The Shaken Crab is a chain place. There's a few chains down here. Urban Outfitters for one. Nothing wrong going to a chain, but don't forget about some of the local places. One notable here, East Side Pockets is a local favorite for Euros, I believe they're pronounced. Greek, Middle Eastern kind of cuisine. The Army Navy. Unfortunately, it looks like they're closed. I think I remember hearing about that. Yeah, I like Army Navy stores. Like seeing the old stuff mostly. It's unfortunate. Got Chinatown on Thayer here. If you're looking for your reliable Chinese food here in Providence, nothing too fancy, but not shitty. Try Chinatown Cafe. It's really good. It's like a buffet style. You go in, you pick a couple, but it's worlds better than Panda Express or anything like that. Worlds better. So Meeting Street here. This is Andrea's restaurant. It goes up that way, and it also leads back down to Benefit Street, over the hill, and then back down to the stairs where we were before. Meeting Street Cafe behind this building here, local favorite. The Avon Theater, now open. We got Kind Connection upstairs for your smokables. Not the smokables themselves, but the implements. Kebab and curry. Antonia's. Yeah, Providence is often overlooked by Boston, New York, and even New Haven for their pizza. I have to say Providence is really good pizza. I wouldn't say it's super distinct. We do have a like a sheet pizza. It's like a bready, cheeseless thing, which is awful, to be honest. I don't like it. But we have great pizza slices here. Antonia's is one of the places. You also got Fellini's down on Fox Point, and Concertas on Federal Hill. Some of my favorites. I know there are some local favorites. And there's plenty others, and they're not too shabby. You know, like the worst pizza in Providence is the best pizza in your small town. I'm not gonna lie. It's real good here. I wouldn't say that's probably true, but what I'm saying is a lot of great shops here, and a lot of the not so great ones, they overlooked by the really great ones, they're still good. Can't really go wrong. Shit check. Yeah. They're new. The Brown Bookstore. Just a reminder, this neighborhood is, you know, occupied by Brown University, mostly. Around it, that is. We'll be ending up in the campus area, at least the southern campus area. Yeah, Chipotle. You don't have to go to, there's Baja's back there. They're a little more local. You want to try something local. You got Korean fried chicken. Just a little reminder that you can find almost anything here in Providence. You're looking for different types of food, things like that. Alright, moving on. We got the tobacconist over there, a bank. Ben & Jerry's. Pardon me. Here's Baja's. Yeah, that's the better place to go. Like, why go to Chipotle when you go to Baja's? Unless the line's too long or something. I don't know. I don't like lines. Sometimes I make up decisions based on the length of the line. But of course, longer the line usually means the better the place. Just kind of fact of that. So this is the other end of the trolley tunnel, originally built in 1914. The other end is on North Main Street. As a matter of fact, this is the Waterman Angel Street intersection here. So yeah, right next to that is the portal to the tunnel on the other side of the hill, which I believe was for trolleys originally. Trolleys couldn't make up the hill. They didn't want to get cable cars or anything like that, so they built the tunnel. It's not too long, but it's still in use today as a bus tunnel because this area is a little bit congested. Makes it a little easier for buses to get around. Here's Waterman Street.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty much it for Thayer. You walk down there, Thayer continues, but it's mostly Brown University buildings, and it leads into the Fox Point neighborhood, residential neighborhood. Actually, we might walk down there. I'm not sure. We do have time. What the hell? Stay with me here. Yeah, so we're continuing down here, and you'll see some pretty cool buildings mixed with some newer buildings. Like this one's pretty neat. Pretty cool, I have to admit. We're just skipping around here because running low on battery. I just want to show off the very end of Thayer. It's kind of a neat neighborhood, sort of trapped in time kind of place. All right, so we're here at Thayer and Power Streets. We're gonna continue. This is the edge of College Hill heading into Fox Point, and right around this area is some of the oldest part of the city, which is why I wanted to sort of walk around here. At least it's the oldest sort of preserved part of the city, I should say. I believe much of the buildings are from the 1800s, early 1800s. But we'll see as we walk down, we're going to see a lot of names on buildings, the years they're built. It's pretty cool. We'll take a good look at a few of them here, and we'll see some of my favorite spots. Let's see. Perspective, Brook Street, Power. We're gonna take a right. Pretty sure anyway. So yeah, Thayer ends 2 or 3 blocks down that way on Transit, I believe. So we're on William Street now. All right. I notice I go a lot. I don't know why I do that. In nerves. 1838 Rhodes House. I hope the shot's pretty good here. There's a lot of trees, but hopefully you get like a sense of what we're looking at here. The Mason House, remodeled in 1860, originally built in 1840. Wow. And I'll try to point out any interesting buildings I see. We're going to cross the street. And of course, there's some beautiful mansions converted into triple deckers. It's good. That's a good thing. This is 1870s, I believe. Beautiful. That worked out to be one of my favorite blocks. I don't know, I love brick. I don't know what it is. Really cool houses here. Don't know the year of that one. Or that one, to be honest. Not really good at this. That'd be cool to look at. So now we're gonna cut down here. If you go straight up the crest of the hill, you'll be at Benefit Street, and you see some of the same buildings we saw from over there. There's a mansion straight behind those trees. To the right is the John Brown house. Kind of put it in perspective. All right, go down the street here. This kind of reminds me of Acorn Street a little bit. Not in that it's surrounded by architecture. I mean, it's still kind of cool, but mostly on the preserved cobblestone. I think it's pretty awesome. Which is why I took you here too, because you know, if you don't usually see this, and it's a good place to take a casual walk and kind of see what life might be like back then in terms of the environment. Anyway, I'm sure it'll be much smellier. Very cool. That's Rome Lane. Oh, excuse me. This is that's not Room Lane. This is Neighbors Lane. Room Lane is down there, which you might look at in a minute, but not quite as cool. All right. Looking down. See some mansions up here. Young Seaman's House. Built in 1795. So they don't know the name of the person who lived here. But he was a young man, and he worked in the shipping industry. Which makes sense because we are in Fox Point. Close proximity to South Water Street shipping area, as well as the India Point. And putting that perspective, around the time that house was occupied, that's where they would have worked. Yeah, I guess little alleys like this around here. It's pretty cool. And that continues to Arnold Street. And another here from 1823. Another row house. So you can tell maybe there are some big mansions and homes here, but there's also a lot of homes that are built for the purpose of housing the working class as well. This one's from 1806. Pretty cool. All right. Looks like we're gonna have a perfect amount of film left to continue the walk. So we're back on Thayer. So we just took a little walk around this little neighborhood, and we'll finish it off down here. Almost perfect. I love how things work out. This one is the John Holden Green house. Very imposing building. Made of stone, it seems, or at least brick. Painted white, 1806. Fantastic. This house here, I'd say they need new siding, but that's just me. Another house from 1806. This is the Robert S. Burroughs house. 3rd District Schoolhouse. Later the St. Stephen's Chapel, 1800. And then renovations in 38 and 52. Nice little house there. It's a really cute house. It's probably still $2 million though. William Greenman, 1825. Wow. Let's see. I forgot which way is better. I mean, anywhere you go here, if you go straight and you're on Transit Street, you'll see some cool houses. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a right on Arnold towards Benefit. and then we'll wrap up the video, and you'll kind of see where we end up, like where it sort of makes sense for a full circle kind of walk. Samuel Pearson House, 1801. Let's get a good look at it. It's fabulous. Captain John Gibbs. (1853). William Church. Don't know the year. Can't read it. I'm gonna admit, I'm just pointing things out here. Just some cool buildings you may like to see. 29 over here. Another Mason. Must have been a big family around here. Here's an old one. Zechariah Carpenter. 1798. Here's another one from 1798. Isaiah Baker. Beautiful. Really nice house. Yeah, I can imagine like living in one of these houses. Like, I love history, and I would love to have an old house like this, but and if you look at some of the market prices we have here, it's incredible. It's limited to people who have cash lying around, that type of thing. But still, it's a really nice neighborhood, and I like renting down here because I like being surrounded by history and by a city of layers, you know, layers of history. 1792. But yeah, so I mean, Benefit Street does get a lot of attention, you know, for being so famous. But when you're down this end of Benefit, it doesn't hurt to take a little walk around. This is Arnold Street, for example. I'd recommend not going down here for sure, and then maybe turning around, maybe trying that alley, Neighbors Lane, turning around and coming back to Benefit. Yeah, around this area, the blocks around here, lots of cool old houses. If that's your thing, like, I definitely think it's worth walking down here. As a matter of fact, as you may see up ahead, we are approaching Benefit Street once again. From our earlier video, this is where we started at the Barker Playhouse. So if you wanted, you could take, like I did earlier, you could walk all the way down to South Water from the train station or wherever you are, and park down there, and then start Benefit, check out Prospect Terrace, and then walk down Thayer for lunch or something, and check out some cool architecture, take a little detour, and then end up back where you were. Maybe you can park your car down here. I don't know. There's a parking lot by the church off of Wickeden. So yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, folks. Thank you for staying with me for that. I had a good time, and I'm hoping that I inspired you to get out and have a good time as well. Maybe make your own tours of your own city, or Providence, or wherever. I don't care. Come on down. We'll love to have you. Yeah, so at that, like, subscribe, appreciate it. You don't have to, you don't want to. It's up to you. But yeah, have fun.